This video presentation is you will able to know what is the different biomes in the South Korea and also the fauna and flora, and lastly is how climate change affected the biome shown. Here are the key concepts of this video presentation. After watching this presentation, you will be able to 1. Identify the different examples of biomes in the South Korea. 2. Identify the examples of fauna and flora in the area. And lastly is describes how climate change affected the biomes shown. First, let us know what is a biome. A biome is a distinct geographical region with a specific climate, vegetation, and animal life. It consists of a biological community that has formed in response to its physical environment and regional climate. Biomes may span more than one continent. A biome encompasses multiple ecosystems within its boundaries. What biomes can be found in the South Korea? Subalpine coniferous forests are common in the northern region. Deciduous broadleaf forests are common in the central region, and warm temperate evergreen forests are the common in the southern and island regions. So what is warm temperate evergreen forest? Warm temperate evergreen forests are the type of temperate forests that are typically found in humid regions and are dominated by broadleaf evergreen trees. Also, 85% of South Korea's land is covered with temperate deciduous forests, while 15% is covered with subtropical forests. Fauna. Depending on the area, all rainforests of South Korea have animal species that are native to only that particular rainforest, which is called fauna. Flora. All rainforests in our country also have plant species of that specific rainforest, which is called flora. But both flora and fauna play an important role in terms of ecological balance, as the flora are required to release oxygen into the air, and fauna release carbon dioxide, which is what is flora need to be able to convert into oxygen. South Korea has many natural areas and wildlife, including national parks, the Demilitarized Zone (DMZ), and the Korean Rose, the national flower. National parks. South Korea has 21 national parks, 29 provincial parks, and 28 country parks. DMZ is a unique biodiversity area with forests, wetlands, and estuaries. It's home to hundreds of bird species, including the endangered red-crowned and white-naped cranes, as well as Asiatic black bears, lynxes, and other mammals. Korean rose, or Hibiscus syriacus, is the national flower of South Korea. It appears in the country's national emblems and the reference in the South Korean national anthem. Other wildlife, native species, and the Korean peninsula include the Korean hare, Korean water deer, Korean field mouse, Korean brown frog, Korean pine, and Korean spruce. So now, what kinds of fauna lives in the South Korea? The first is the musk deer, a gentle herbivore with a smell that's worse than its bite. The second is white-naped crane, a migratory species native to East Asia, including South Korea, and classified as vulnerable by the International Union for Conservation of Nature (IUCN). Third, Asiatic black bear, also known as a moon bear. This species lives in the broadleaf and mixed forests of the mountain regions in many Asian countries. Fourth, otter, a mammal that moves freely along the river running through South and North Korea. Second to the last is bat. There are approximately 24 species of bats in the South Korea. and most are insectivorous and relatively small. Last is Finley's provois, a small cetacean that inhabits shallow, coastal waters in the Indo-Pacific region, including the coast of Korea. What kinds of flora is found in the South Korea? The first is the Japanese maple, a short tree with many aesthetically pleasing forms that is native to Southeast Korea. Second is the big leaf hydrangea, a flower that is native to Japan, China, and Korea and has two main varieties, moped and lace cap. The third is Rose of Sharon, the national flower of South Korea, also known as Hibiscus syriacus, crocus, or shrub althea. The second to the last is Aster alticus, a perennial plant that is native to temperate Asia. The last is Cypripedium xaphonicum, an endangered East Asian lady sleeper orchid that is endemic to China, Japan, and South Korea. How climate change affected the biomes? Climate change is already now altering biomes, adversely affecting terrestrial and marine ecosystems. Climate change represents long-term changes in temperature and average weather patterns. This leads to a substantial increase in both the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events. As a region's climate change, a change in its flora and fauna follows. For instance, out of 4,000 species analyzed by the IPCC 6 assessment report, half were found to have shifted their distribution to higher latitudes or elevations in the response to climate change. That's all guys, thank you for watching.